Yeah, man. Sometimes life is bullshit. Seriously, it's just bullshit. Today I had expected to be able to finally do the first video in the BOF rifle series, our base of fire rifle series. Sorry about that. Try to be still. I've got all the parts. I've got all the important parts. I'm waiting for one last thing. I'm waiting for the sling. And that's it. And I could do this video. It's bullshit. Life's bullshit sometimes. Sometimes the coronavirus shuts down the economy but doesn't shut down your job. That's bullshit. Sometimes your wife has got a lousy attitude and that's bullshit. Your kids are running wild. It's bullshit. You're poor. It's bullshit. You really love the 2005 GT40, Ford GT40. You'll never even get to sit in one. It's bullshit. Well, I took my bullshit. Well, I didn't take my bullshit. I actually went and got my bullshit. That's right. I'm gonna have to get somewhere where I don't shake so much. When life is bullshit, what do men do? Let's see if I can get this shake and stop for 1 second, man. That's right. We plant a garden. I'm gonna wax off philosophical on you at the moment because life's been bullshit lately. Not really. I have a very good life. It hasn't. How good my life is you would understand how good my life was if I explained to you what all the bullshit is, because it actually isn't that bad. But life's been a little frustrating lately, and I went with my father-in-law to get some manure. Those of you who have been praying for my father-in-law, thank you. He's stabilized. His health will probably never be back to normal, but he did just go help me get 2 loads of manure, so obviously he's doing okay. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's not. You have all the information you need. My father-in-law had a heart attack. Good, solid man. Very useful man. But anyway, I'm sorry. Back to bullshit, because it's bullshit. It's the. Oh, I'm waxing philosophical, and most of you know this already, because many of you. I wouldn't say most, because I have experienced some bullshit in my life. But many of you have experienced levels of bullshit that I couldn't even begin to aspire to. Let's see if I can not shake now. But when life is bullshit, we plant gardens. All of the best things in life come out of struggle. I'm a terrible singer. I love to sing, but I'm a terrible singer. But there's an old song, and some of you will recognize it. And those of you who don't had a deprived childhood. Was from the ashes of disaster come the roses of success. And kudos if you can. Most of you can name the song, but if you can name the song, kudos. If you can't, find out where it comes from and go watch and go experience it. Because there's that song, and then there's another song called Posh the Traveling Life. It's the same character as the movie. Same character in the movie sings both songs, and they're both 2 of my favorite songs in that genre of movies. So Posh the traveling life for me. And then later on he's singing that ashes of disaster come the roses of success. And it's true, if we look at anything worthwhile in life, it came after failure, from failure, through failure. Penicillin was discovered through failure. We all know the famous, how many tries Edison made for the light bulb. It took us 10 years to get to the moon, and I can't remember how many astronauts died. Not that many, but a few did. The Russians killed a lot of astronauts in the space race. I mean, they just abandoned some guys up there. They launched some guys into space and couldn't get them back, so they just left them. Stuff like that. From the failure of my first marriage came my second marriage, which has been a wonderful thing. That's been a little bit of the bullshit this week, but I fixed it. I got it handled. Yeah, from when there's bullshit in your marriage, it's an opportunity to train your wife. There you go. It wasn't really bullshit. Minor frustration. It's an sign of how good my life is that I was frustrated. It was no big deal. But by God, we nipped it in the bud. Sorry, back to bullshit. That's pretty much it. That's going to be a short video. Yeah, a lot of us have been served some bullshit this last couple of weeks. This COVID-19 thing is utter bullshit. You know, if you put the worldwide death total up against all this other stuff, it's not even close. It's not even up to where H1N1 was. It's like a tenth of what the yearly death by suicides are. It's less than a tenth of what annual car accidents are. I think these are worldwide numbers. I just saw I just got an alert. Bear put up a video about making gardens. Bear, if you'll make gardens, it's bullshit, buddy. It's bullshit. That's how you make gardens. Everything good comes from bullshit. Someone go, I'll go. I looked at that was his page. It was one of his Patreon videos. What it looked like. I got a Patreon alert while I was filming. I'll go to his Patreon video and tell him, if you want to garden, you've got to go through some bullshit first. And you got to go through a lot of bullshit. Look at that. This is my second load of the year. I should have started hauling this bullshit at the end of the last growing season. There's a psalm I just ran into, and I don't remember it exactly. It may have been, I'm sorry, it was a proverb. A proverb I just ran into, and I don't remember the exact reference or the exact quote, but it says something about the man who doesn't plow his field in the fall. He'll be poor or hungry or something, I can't remember. And of course I saw it this winter, and I went, eh! But I should have started hauling this as soon as we did the last harvest last year. I didn't. Most years I try to cover the whole garden, and it'll take 30 of these truckloads at least, and I won't get the whole thing covered. So it takes a lot of bullshit to get to something good. I think the other phrase is no pain, no gain. In the Marine Corps, we used to say, pain is just weakness leaving the body. You got to go through some bullshit. And there's something good on the other side. What's the good on the other side? Well, if you come through it, if you don't let the bullshit overwhelm you when you drown in it, or if you don't sit there like I am wont to do and talk about the bullshit and not actually do anything about it. You know, if you take the bullshit and you use it, good things come from it. You know, I got to go drive 2 miles. Look, my life is so easy. 2 miles away, there's this giant pile of bullshit, and I got to go drive over there, fill up my truck. They make it easy, though. They let me use the skid steer to do it. So drive it back here and spread it on the garden. If I don't do something with the bullshit, it doesn't do any good. It just sits there and grows weeds in the back of the livestock auction, and every once in a while, they got to pay someone to come haul it off, which is insane. If I could find someone with a dump truck, I would have every ounce of it here. That may be what our next Patreon campaign is going to be. Oh, we got to 8 minutes. That may be what my next Patreon campaign is going to be. Instead, after the BOF rifle, it's going to be dump truck, so I can haul bullshit and grow things. We actually, our soil is pretty lousy here, and we've got to work pretty hard at amending it. But that's what the bullshit goes for, you know, a barren, empty, I wouldn't say worthless dirt, but it's not great dirt. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know how well you can see that. It's actually better underneath there. The wonderful thing about this clay is that it forms a crust on top, and underneath there's better dirt. And it's really good for retaining moisture in the droughts in the summer, which we will get droughts in the summer. Some years it'll stop raining in early June and it won't rain till August. That's extreme. But that's not unheard of. It's happened several times in my lifetime. And it's not at all uncommon for, you know, June and July and August to be very dry. So that red clay is nice. Everything has its trade-offs. Oh, it ties back in. The red clay is bullshit, but it has good. It's like an onion. We're just peeling back the layers on this bullshit thing. I'm probably just trying to see how many times I can say the word bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, where is the load I hauled yesterday? Oh, it's up there. Let's go look at the other load of bullshit. Now, see, and here's another lesson. If you do this right, if I plowed in the fall and started hauling my bullshit then, I could just, sorry about that sunlight. I could have just plowed it in the field, spread it willy-nilly everywhere. These beans are coming up. And just plowed it in. Now, because I waited and I didn't deal with the bullshit correctly, I have to move it around by hand. So here's some of yesterday's load. Some of it's actually already been spreaded by hand. But if you deal with the bullshit early, it's much easier and much more useful. Now I'll be, instead of generally improving all the soil up here, I'll be having to work on each plant one at a time. It's bullshit. So when I don't handle my bullshit in a timely manner, I create more bullshit. In fact, I create the vast majority of the bullshit in my life. And I think many of us would fall into that category as well. At least many of us who have bullshit in our lives. I think the appropriate phrase in this instance is stupid people have stupid problems. And if you have stupid problems, like I frequently do, although my problems are nothing like other people's problems, I have first world problems. I'll never get to sit in a Ford GT40 2005 edition. Because those 2017s are nice, but they just don't have that raw sex appeal of the 2005. They look a little too engineered. That's just me. Neither one of them have the sex appeal of the 67. Oh, most beautiful car of all time. All right. One of possibly the top 5 most beautiful objects ever created by man, even. I might go that far. I don't know. Okay. Where were we? All right. So we all got bullshit coming. And we've all got to deal with it. And hopefully, if we do, bullshit, instead of being destructive, instead of drowning in it, like the livestock auction can be, we turn around and turn it into something good. From the ashes of disaster come the roses of success. From this COVID-19 disaster, the engineered disaster they're going to make around it, because never let a good crisis go to waste. Oh my God, Trump might get reelected. What is going on? We have to do something. So this engineered disaster, something good might come. Something good has come out of it. All those people who ran out and bought guns, these are people who suddenly decided they needed to be responsible for their own security. That's a good thing. All these people who are hoarding food, okay, so they're not being smart, or at least they're trying to be smart all at once. But these are people who suddenly decided to take responsibility, and they recognize that the government can't protect them and take care of everything there is to be taken care of. That's a good thing. There's some claims that people are having a revival and there's going to be a return to some form of true religion. I am skeptical of that. So few people, to almost vanishingly rare, is it that anyone's preaching a true gospel of repentance and restoration, that I am highly skeptical that there will be a real revival. I would be great. I mean, please God, send a revival, a real revival, not a fake revival. Not, all that jumping up around and screaming, fire, fire. I have seen so many church services where people jumped up around, down and screamed for fire. That's not revival. But where people truly repent and turn back to the true faith of the Bible, not this made-up crap we've been practicing for however long it's been, but a true manly, aggressive, robust Christianity, the way it was preached by Christ on the foundation of Moses and elaborated on by Paul. You have to take the whole thing. It's a whole thing. And we all get tore up about turn the other cheek. There's no good that comes from that bullshit. That is bullshit there is no use for. That does not mean what you think it means. All sorts of things that the modern church has turned into, just be a nice guy. You just got to let people do what they want to do, and you can't do nothing about it. That's bullshit, and there is no good that's going to come out of that bullshit. That's probably pig shit. I don't know. It's some other kind of shit. There's nothing you can do with that. We have a faith of, the disciples carried concealed weapons, and Jesus said, the king was established by God, but then he goes and describes to you who the king is, making it very, very clear that if your king doesn't fit that standard, he's not protected by God, and he wasn't ordained by God, and you don't have to submit to that king. That is one of the most misused verses in the whole Bible. It's a very useful verse, though, because it's a great way to fly under the radar. Well, not fly under the radar, but it does alleviate some of the fears of some of the governments. Oh, look, these people have to submit to me. Read a little bit farther, buddy. No, or don't read a little bit farther, and that way you don't have to understand why we don't have to submit to you, and then you give us a little bit of breathing room until we're strong enough to not submit to you. But be that as it may, I think I was talking about all those people. Oh, and the revival. In other words, more people going back to sit in the pews at the Assemblies of God, or the Southern Baptists, or God help us, the Methodists and the Episcopalians. Actually, there's some good Episcopalians. There's some good Assemblies of God. There's some good Southern Baptists. Just not many of them, especially not in the institutions, and especially not the ones in control of the buildings. But there you go, man. I got to get to work. I got to quit talking about the bullshit, and I actually got to do something with the bullshit. This is 15 minutes, so I may or may not show you the end of the bullshit, because that's 16 minutes. That's a long time to be talking about bullshit. That's some bullshit. This bullshit talk was bullshit. Maybe y'all can do something good with it. If I don't I tell you what, I'm going to say, thank you, men, we appreciate you now, and if I splice in a clip of the end of the bullshit, I'll put it before this. But if I don't, thank you, men, we appreciate you.